All right. Good evening, everyone. Continuing on with the 1540 Great Bible Read Through tonight with Proverbs. Let's see. One moment. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. The Proverbs of Solomon, Chapter 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to learn wisdom, and to perceive the instruction, and to perceive the words of understanding, and thereby to receive prudence, righteous judgment, and equity, that the very simple might have wit, and that the young man might have knowledge and true understanding. By hearing the wise man shall come by more wisdom, and he that is endued with understanding shall obtain wit to perceive a parable, and the interpretation thereof, the words of the wise, and the dark speeches of the same. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear thy father's doctrine, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for that shall bring grace unto thy head, and shall be as a chain about thy neck. My son, consent not unto sinners if they entice thee, and say, Come with us, we will lay wait for blood, and lurk privily for the innocent without a cause. We shall swallow them up like the hell, and devour them quick and whole, as those that go down into the pit. So shall we find all manner of costly riches, and fill our houses with spoils. Cast in thy lot among us, and let us have all one purse. My son, walk not thou with them, refrain thy foot from their way, for their feet run to evil, and are hasty to shed blood. But in vain is the net laid forth before the birds' eyes, yea, they themselves lay wait for one another's blood, and one of them would slay another. These are the ways of all such as be covetous. The one would ravish another's life. Wisdom crieth without. She putteth forth her voice in the streets. She calleth before the congregation in the open gates, and showeth her words through the city, saying, O ye children, how long will ye love childishness? How long will the scorners delight in scorning, and the unwise be enemies unto knowledge? O turn you unto my correction. Lo, I will express my mind unto you, and make you understand my words. I have called, and ye refused it. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded it. But all my counsels have ye despised, and set my correction at naught. Therefore shall I also laugh in your destruction, and mock you, when that thing that you fear cometh upon you, even when the thing that ye be afraid of falleth in suddenly, like a storm, falleth in, or falleth out, falleth in suddenly like a storm, and your misery like a tempest, yea, when trouble and heaviness cometh upon you. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not hear. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. And that because they hated knowledge, and received not the fear of the Lord, but abhorred my counsel, and despised all my correction. Therefore shall they eat the fruits of their own way, and be filled with their own inventions. For the turning away of the unwise shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall be their own destruction. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and be sure from any fear of evil. Any fear of evil. 2. My son, if thou wilt receive my words, and keep my commandments by thee, that thou wilt incline thine ears unto wisdom, apply thine heart then to understanding. For if thou criest after wisdom, and callest for knowledge, if thou seekest after her as after money, and diggest for her as for treasure, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and find the knowledge of God. For it is the Lord that giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He hideth up health for the righteous. He preserveth the welfare of the righteous, and defendeth them that walk sincerely. He keepeth them in the right path, and preserveth the way of such as serve him with godliness. Then shalt thou understand righteousness, judgment, and equity, yea, and every good path. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and thy soul delight in knowledge, then shall counsel preserve thee, and understanding shall keep thee, that thou mayest be delivered from the evil way, and from the man that speaketh froward things, from such as leave the high street, and walk in the ways of darkness, which rejoice in doing evil, and delight in wicked things, whose ways are crooked, um, and they froward in their paths. They are froward in their paths. That thou mayest be delivered also from the strange woman, and from her that is not thine own, which giveth sweet words, forsaketh the husband of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. For her house is inclined unto death, and her paths unto hell. All they that go in unto her come not again, neither take they hold of the way of life. Therefore walk thou in the way of such as be virtuous, and keep the paths of the righteous. For the just shall dwell in the land, and they that be perfect shall remain in it. But the ungodly shall be rooted out of the land, and the wicked doers shall be rooted out of it. My son, forget not thou my law, but see that thine heart keep my commandments. For they shall prolong the days and years of thy life, and bring thee peace. Let mercy and faithfulness never go from thee. Bind them about thy neck, and write them in the tables of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and men. Put thy trust in God with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own wit. In all thy ways have respect unto him, and he shall order thy goings. Be not wise in thine own conceit, but fear the Lord, and depart from evil. So shall thy navel be whole, and thy bones strong. Honour the Lord with thy substance, and with the firstlings of all thine increase. Give unto the poor. So shall thy barns be filled with plenteousness, and thy presses shall flow over with sweet wine. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, him he chasteneth, and yet delighteth in him, even as a father in his own son. Well is him that findeth wisdom, and obtaineth understanding. For the getting of it is better than any merchandise of silver, and the profit of it is better than gold. Wisdom is more worth than precious stones, and all the things that thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Upon her right hand is long life, and upon her left hand is riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peaceable. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and blessed is he that keepeth her fast. With wisdom hath the Lord laid the foundation of the earth, and through understanding hath he established the heavens. Through his wisdom the depths break up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not these things depart from thine eyes, but keep my law and my counsel, that thou mayest have the pleasure of long life and understanding. For they shall be life unto thy soul, and grace unto my mouth. Unto my soul, and grace unto my mouth. Then shalt thou walk safely in thy way, and thy foot shall not stumble. If thou sleepest, thou shalt not be afraid, but shalt take thy rest, and sleep sweetly. Thou needest not to be afraid of any sudden fear, neither for the violent rushing in of the ungodly when it cometh. For the Lord shall stand by thy side, and keep thy foot, that thou be not taken. Withdraw no good thing from them that have need, so long as thine hand is able to do it. Say not unto thy neighbor, Go thy way, and come again. Tomorrow will I give thee, whereas thou hast now to give him. Intend no hurt unto thy neighbor, seeing he doth dwell in rest by thee. Strive not lightly with any man without a cause, whereas he hath done thee no harm. Follow not a wicked man, and choose none of his ways, for the Lord abhorreth the froward, but his counsel is among the righteous. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the ungodly, but he blesseth the dwellings of the righteous. As for the scornful, doth not he laugh them to scorn? But he giveth grace unto the lowly. The wise shall have honor in possession, but shame is the promotion that fools shall have. 4. Hear, O ye children, the fatherly exhortation, and take good heed that ye may learn wisdom. For I have given you a good doctrine, forsake not ye my law. For when I myself was my father's dear son, and tenderly beloved of my mother, he taught me also, and said unto me, Let thine heart receive my words, keep my commandments, and thou shalt live. Get thee wisdom, and get thee understanding. Forget not the words of my mouth, and shrink not from them. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. The chief point of wisdom is, that thou be willing to obtain wisdom, and before all thy goods to get thee, above, or before all thy goods, to get thee understanding. Make much of her, and she shall promote thee. Yea, if thou embrace her, she shall bring thee unto honor. She shall make thee a gracious head, and garnish thee with a crown of glory. Hear, my son, and receive my words, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have showed thee the way of wisdom, and led thee into the right paths, so that, if thou goest therein, there shall no straightness hinder thee, and when thou runnest thou shalt not fall. Take fast hold of doctrine, and let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Come not in the path of the ungodly, and walk not in the way of the wicked. Abhor it, and go not therein. Depart aside, and pass over by it. For they cannot sleep, except they have first done some mischief. Neither take they any rest, except they have first done some harm. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of robbery. The path of the righteous, shineth as the light that is ever brighter and brighter unto the perfect day. But the way of the ungodly is as the darkness, they know not where they fall. My son, mark my words, and incline thy ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes, but keep them even in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto all those that find them, and health unto all their bodies. Keep thine heart with all diligence, for thereupon hangeth life. Put away from thee a froward mouth, and let the lips of slander be far from thee. Let thine eyes behold the thing that is right, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be ordered aright. Turn not aside, neither to the right hand nor to the left, but withhold thy foot from evil. For the Lord knoweth the ways that are on the right hand. As for the ways that be on the left hand, they be froward, for he shall direct thy goings, and thy ways he shall guide in peace. 5. My son, give heed unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear unto my prudence, that thou mayest regard good counsel, and that thy lips may speak knowledge. Apply not thou thyself to the deceitfulness of a woman, for the lips of an harlot are a dropping honeycomb, and her throat is more glistering than oil. But that at the last she is as bitter as wormwood, and her tongue as sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down unto death, and her steps pierce through unto hell. Perchance thou dwelling with her wilt ponder the path of life. So unsteadfast are her ways, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O my son, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Keep thy way far from her, and come not nigh the doors of her house, that thou give not thy strength unto other, and thy ears to the cruel, that other men be not filled with thy goods, and that thy labors come not in a strange house. Yea, that thou mourn not at the last, when thou hast spent thy body in lusty green youth, and then say, Alas, why hated I nurture? Why did my heart despise correction? Wherefore was not I obedient unto the voice of my teachers, and hearkened not unto them that informed me? I am come almost into all my misfortune in the midst of the multitude and congregation. Drink of the water of thine own well, of the rivers that run out of thine own springs. Let thy wells flow out abroad, that there may be rivers of waters in the streets. But let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. Let thy well be blessed, and be glad with the wife of thy youth. Loving is the hind, and friendly is the roe. Let her breasts always satisfy thee, and hold thee ever content with her love. My son, why wilt thou have pleasure in an harlot, and embrace the bosom of another woman? For every man's ways are open in the sight of the Lord, and he pondereth all their goings. The wickedness of the ungodly shall catch himself, and with the snares of his own sins shall he be trapped. He shall die without amendment. And for his great foolishness he shall not go astray. He shall die without ever amending his way or himself. 6. My son, if thou be surety for thy neighbor, and hast fastened thine hand for another man, thou art bound with thine own words, and taken with thine own speech. Therefore, my son, do this, and thou shalt be discharged, when thou art come into thy neighbor's danger. Okay. Go thy ways then soon. Humble thyself, and with thy friends entreat thy creditor. Let not thine eyes sleep, nor thine eyelids slumber. Save thyself as a doe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the emmet, which is the ant. Thou sluggard, consider her ways, and learn to be wise. She hath no guide, nor overseer, nor ruler. Yet in the summer she provideth her meat, and gathereth her food together in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, thou sluggish man? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yea, sleep on still a little, slumber a little, fold thine hands together yet a little, that thou mayest sleep. So shall thy poverty come unto thee as one that travaileth by the way, or travelleth by the way, and necessity come on thee like a weaponed man. But if thou be not slothful, thy harvest shall come as a springing well, and poverty shall flee far from thee. And ungodly an ungodly person, a wicked man, goeth with a froward mouth. Ungodly persons? He winketh with his eyes, he tokeneth, or signals with his feet, he pointeth, he pointed with his fingers, he is ever imagining mischief and frowardness in his heart, and causeth discord. Therefore shall his destruction come hastily upon him, suddenly shall he be all to broken, and not be healed. He shall be all to broken. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, and the 7th he utterly abhorreth: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that goeth about with wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to do mischief, a false witness that bringeth up lies, and such one as soweth discord among brethren. My son, keep thy father's commandment, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Put them up together in thine heart, and bind them about thy neck, that they may lead thee where thou goest, preserve thee when thou art asleep, and that when thou awakest thou mayest talk of them. For the commandment is a lantern, and the law a light. Yea, chastening and nurture is the way of life, that they may keep thee from the evil woman, and from the flattering tongue of the harlot, that thou lust not after her beauty in thine heart, and lest thou be taken with her fair looks. An harlot will make a man to beg his bread, and a woman will hunt for the precious life. May a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burnt? Or can one go upon hot coals, and his feet not be burnt? Even so, whosoever goeth into his neighbour's wife, and toucheth her, cannot be unguilty. Men do not utterly despise a thief that stealeth to satisfy his soul when he is hungry, but if he may be begotten, if he may be gotten or caught, he restoreth again 7 times as much, or else he maketh recompense with all the goods of his house. With all the goods of his house. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman, he is a fool, and bringeth his life to destruction. He getteth himself also shame and dishonour, such as shall never be put out. For the jealousy and wrath of the man will not be entreated. No, though thou wouldest offer him great gifts to make amends, he will not receive them. 7. My son, keep my words, and lay up my commandments by thee. Keep my commandments and my law, even as the apple of thine eye, and thou shalt live. Bind them upon thy fingers, and write them in the table of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, Thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, and from the harlot which giveth sweet words. For out of the window of the window of my house, I looked through the lattice, and beheld the simple people, and among other simple folks I spied one young fool going over the streets, by the corner, in the way toward the harlot's house, in the twilight of the evening, when it began now to be night and dark. And behold, there met him a woman with open tokens of an harlot, only her heart was hid. She was full of loud words, and ready to dally, whose feet could not abide in the house. Now is she without, now in the streets, and layeth a bait in every corner. She caught the young man, kissed him, and was not ashamed, saying, I had a vow of space offerings to pay. Peace offerings? Interesting. Space offerings. A vow of peace offerings to pay, and this day I performed it. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, that I might seek thy face, and so have I found thee. I have decked my bed with coverings and clothes of Egypt. My bed have I made to smell of myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us lie together and take our pleasure till it be daylight, and we will enjoy the pleasures of love. For the good man is not at home, he is gone far off. He hath taken the bag of money with him, and will return home at the appointed solemn feast. Thus with many sweet words she overcame him, and with her flattering lips she entreated him suddenly to follow her, as it were an ox led to the slaughter, and like as it were a fool that laugheth when he goeth to the stocks, to be punished so long till she had wounded his liver with her dart. Like as if a bird hasted to the snare, not knowing that the peril of his life lieth thereupon. Okay, as it were an ox, or as it were a fool that laugheth when he goeth to the stocks to be punished, so long till she had wounded his liver with her dart. That's a difficult sentence. Okay. Hear me now, therefore, O my children, and mark the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart wander in her ways, and be not thou deceived in her paths. For many one hath she wounded and cast down, yea, many a strong man hath been slain by the means of her. Her houses are the way unto hell, and bring men down into the chamber of death. 8. Doth not wisdom cry? Doth not understanding put forth her voice? Standeth she not in the high places, in the streets and ways? Doth she not cry before the whole city, and in the gates where men go out and in? It is you, all ye men, saith she, whom I call. Unto the children of men do I lift up my voice. Take heed unto knowledge, O ye ignorant. Be ye wise in heart, O ye fools. Give ear, for I will speak of great matters, and open my lips to tell things that be right. For my throat shall be talking of the truth, and my lips abhor ungodliness. And my lips abhor ungodliness. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There is no frowardness nor falsehood therein. They are all plain to such as will understand, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my doctrine, and not silver, and my knowledge more than fine gold. For wisdom is more worth than precious stones. Yea, all things that thou canst desire may not be compared unto it. I, wisdom, have my dwelling with knowledge, and prudent counsel is mine own. The fear of the Lord abhorreth wickedness, pride, disdain, and the evil way. And a mouth that speaketh wicked things I utterly abhor. I can give counsel, and I confer things. I have understanding, I have strength. Through me kings reign. Through me counselors make just laws. Through me do princes bear rule, and all judges of the earth execute judgment. I am loving unto those that love me, and they that seek me early shall find me. Riches, or richess, and honor are with me, yea, excellent goods and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold and precious stone, and mine increase more than fine silver. I will guide thee in the way of righteousness, and in the street of judgment, that I may send prosperity to those that love me, and to increase their treasure. The Lord himself had me in possession in the beginning of his ways, ere ever he began his works aforetime. I have been ordained from everlasting, and from the beginning, ere ever the earth was made. When I was born, there were neither depths nor springs of water. Before the foundations of the mountains were laid, yea, before all hills was I born. The earth and all that is upon the earth was not yet made, no, not the ground itself. For when he made the heavens, I was present. When he set up the depths in order, when he hanged the clouds above, when he fastened the springs of the deep, when he shut the sea within certain bounds, that the waters should not go over their marks that he commanded. When he laid the foundations of the earth, I was with him, ordering all things, delighting daily, and rejoicing alway before him. As for the round compass of this world, I make it joyful, for my delight is to be among the children of men. Therefore hearken unto me, O ye children. Blessed are they that keep my ways. O give ear unto nurture, be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, and giving attendance at the posts of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But whoso offendeth against me hurteth his own soul. All they that hate me are the lovers of death, or friends of death. Yeah, lovers of death. 9. Wisdom hath builded herself an house, and hewn out 7 pillars. She hath killed her victuals, poured out her wine, and prepared her table. She hath sent forth her maidens to cry upon the highest place of the city. Whoso is ignorant, let him come hither. And to the unwise she said, I come on your way. Oh, come on your way. Oh, come on your way. Eat my bread, and drink my wine which I have poured out for you. Forsake ignorance, and ye shall live, and see that ye go in the way of understanding. Whoso reproveth a scornful person getteth himself dishonour, and he that rebuketh the ungodly staineth himself. Reprove not a scorner, lest he owe thee evil will, to thee. But rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give a discreet man but an occasion, and he will be the wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of holy things is understanding. For through me thy days shall be prolonged, and the years of thy life shall be many. If thou be wise, thy wisdom shall do thyself good. But if thou thinkest scorn thereof, it shall be thine own harm. A foolish wretchless woman, wretchless woman, full of words, and such a one as hath no knowledge, sitteth at the door of her house, and in the high places of the city, to call such as go by, and that walk straight in their ways. Whoso is ignorant, saith she, let him come hither. And to the unwise she saith, stolen waters are sweet, and the bread that is privily eaten hath a good taste. And he doth not consider that they are but dead which be there, and that her guests are in the deep of hell. 10. The deep of hell. For he that will be joined unto her shall go down to hell, but he that avoideth from her shall be saved. Let's see, make a couple notes. Okay. Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad father, but an undiscreet son is an heaviness unto his mother. Treasures that are wickedly gotten profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. The Lord will not let the soul of the righteous suffer hunger, but he taketh away the riches of the ungodly. An idle hand maketh poor, but a quick labouring hand maketh rich. Whoso regardeth leasings feedeth the wind, and doth but follow birds that have taken their flight. Whoso gathereth in summer is wise, but he that is sluggish in harvest bringeth himself to confusion. Blessings are upon the head of the righteous, and the mouth of the ungodly keepeth mischief in secret. The memorial of the just shall have a good report, but the name of the ungodly shall stink. A wise man will receive warning, but a prating fool shall be punished. He that leadeth an innocent life walketh surely, but whoso goeth the wrong way shall be known. He that winketh with his eye will do some harm, but he that hath a foolish mouth shall be beaten. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but the mouth of the ungodly keepeth mischief in secret. Evil will stirreth up strife, but love covereth the multitude of sins. In the lips of him that hath understanding a man shall find wisdom, but the rod belongeth to the back of the foolish. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is nigh destruction. The rich man's goods are his stronghold, but their own poverty feareth the poor. Their own poverty. Okay, the poor fear their own poverty. but their own poverty feareth the poor. The righteous laboureth to do good, but the ungodly useth his increase unto sin. To take heed unto the chastening of nurture is the way of life, but he that refuseth to be reformed deceiveth himself. Nurture, discipline, upbringing, discipline. Dissembling lips keep hatred secretly, and he that speaketh any slander is a fool. Where much babbling is, there must needs be offence, and he that refraineth his lips is wise. An innocent tongue is a noble treasure, but the heart of the ungodly is nothing worth. Nothing worth. But the lips, the lips of the righteous feed a whole multitude, but fools shall die in their own folly. The blessing of the Lord maketh rich men. As for careful travail, it doeth nothing thereto. The blessing of the Lord maketh rich men. As for careful travail, it doth nothing thereto. Thereto can mean on top of that. It doth add nothing thereto. Maybe. A fool doeth wickedly, and maketh but a sport of it. But wisdom ruleth the man that hath understanding. The thing that the ungodly are afraid of shall come upon them, but the righteous shall have their desire. The ungodly passeth when the tempest cometh, but the righteous remaineth sure for ever. As vinegar is to the teeth, and as smoke is unto the eyes, even so is a sluggish person to them that sendeth him forth. The fear of the Lord maketh a long life, but the years of the ungodly shall be shortened. The patient abiding of the righteous shall be turned to gladness, but the hope of the ungodly shall perish. The way of the Lord giveth courage unto the godly, but it is a fear for wicked doers. The way of the Lord is a fear for wicked doers. The righteous shall never be overthrown, but the ungodly shall not remain in the land. The mouth of the just will be talking of wisdom, but the tongue of the froward shall perish. The lips of the righteous are occupied in acceptable things, but the mouth of the ungodly taketh them to the worst. Oh. They come up with the worst things to talk about. 11. A false balance is an abomination unto the Lord, but a true weight pleaseth him. Where pride is, there is shame also and confusion. But where as is lowliness, there is wisdom. Whereas can usually just be read where, or in the same place as lowliness is. But where, as is lowliness, there is wisdom. The innocent dealing of the just shall lead them, but the wickedness of such as dissemble shall be their own destruction. Riches help not in the day of vengeance, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteousness of the innocent ordereth his way, but the ungodly shall fall in his own wickedness. The righteousness of the just shall deliver them, but the wicked shall be taken in their own ungodliness. When an ungodly man dieth, his hope is gone. The confidence of riches shall perish. The righteous shall be delivered out of trouble, and the ungodly shall come in his stead. Godly shall come in his stead. Oh, into trouble. Okay. The righteous shall be delivered out of it, the ungodly shall take his place in it. Through the mouth of the dissembler is his neighbor destroyed, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city is merry, and when the ungodly perish, there is gladness. When the just are in wealth, the city prospereth, but when the ungodly have the rule, it decayeth. A fool bringeth up a slander of his neighbor, but a wise man will keep it secret. A dissembling person will discover privy things, but he that is of a faithful heart will keep counsel. Where no good counsel is, there the people decay, but where as many are that can give counsel, there is wealth. But where as many are that can give counsel, there is wealth. He that is surety for a stranger hurteth himself, and he that meddleth not with suretyship is sure. A gracious woman maintaineth honesty, as for the wicked they maintain riches. That is that's what they put their care to maintain. He that is merciful doeth himself a benefit, but whoso hurteth his neighbor is a tyrant. The labor of the ungodly prospereth not, but he that soweth righteousness shall receive a sure reward. Like as righteousness bringeth life, even so to cleave unto evil bringeth death. The Lord abhorreth them that be of a faint heart, but he hath pleasure in them that are of an undefiled conversation, or versing. The wicked amendeth not for plague upon plague, but the seed of the righteous shall be preserved. A fair woman without discreet manners is like a ring of gold in a swine's snout. The desire of the righteous is acceptable, but the hope of the ungodly is indignation. Some man giveth out his goods and is the richer, but the niggard, having enough, will depart from nothing, and yet is ever in poverty. He will part from nothing, and yet is ever in poverty. He that is liberal in giving shall have plenty, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. Whoso hoardeth up his corn shall be cursed among the people, but blessing shall light upon his head that giveth food. He that laboureth for honesty findeth his desire. Whoso seeketh after mischief, it shall happen unto him. He that trusteth in his riches shall have a fall, but the righteous shall flourish as the green leaf. Whoso maketh disquietness in his own house, he shall have wind for his heritage. And the fool shall be servant to the wise. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that endeavoureth himself to win men's souls is wise. If the righteous be recompensed upon earth, how much more, then, the ungodly and the sinner? This could be the word than, but it seems to be then. Therefore. How much more therefore? Yeah, if then. 12. Whoso loveth wisdom will be content to be reformed, but he that hateth to be reproved is a fool. A good man is acceptable unto the Lord, but the wicked imaginer will he condemn. Will the Lord condemn? A man cannot endure in ungodliness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A housewifely woman is a crown unto her husband, but she that behaveth herself unhonestly is a corruption in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the imaginations of the ungodly are deceitful. The talking of the ungodly is how they may lay wait for blood, but the mouth of the righteous will deliver them. God overturneth the estate of the wicked, and they stand not, but the house of the righteous shall stand steadfast. A man shall be commended for his wisdom, but a fool shall be despised. A simple man which laboureth and worketh is better than one that is gorgeous and lacketh breath. I think this is bread. Chapter 12. Lacketh bread, I'm sure. Okay. Yeah, lacketh bread. Okay, that's a creative spelling of bread. Sometimes TH is substituted for D in all different kinds of words, so you can tell by the context. So Simple man which laboureth and worketh is better than one that is gorgeous and lacketh bread. A righteous man regardeth the life of his cattle, but the ungodly have cruel hearts. He that tilleth his land shall have plenteousness of bread, but he that followeth idleness is a very fool. Whoso hath pleasure to continue at the wine leaveth dishonesty in his own dwelling. The desire of the ungodly hunteth after mischief, but the root of the righteous bringeth forth fruit. The wicked falleth into the snare through the malice of his own mouth, but the just shall escape out of all peril. Every man shall enjoy good according to the fruit of his mouth, and after the works of his hands shall he be rewarded. Look, what a fool taketh in hand, he thinketh it well done, but he that is wise shall be counselled. A fool uttereth his wrath in all haste, but a discreet man covereth wrong. A just man will tell the truth, and show the thing that is right, but a false witness deceiveth. A slanderous person pricketh like a sword, but a wise man's tongue is wholesome. A true mouth is ever constant, but a dissembling tongue is soon changed. They that imagine evil in their mind will deceive, but the counselors of peace shall have joy following them. There shall no misfortune happen unto the just, but the ungodly shall be filled with misery. The Lord abhorreth lying lips, but they that labor for truth please him. He that hath understanding doth hide wisdom, or heed. This I've seen this as a spelling of heed, so we should pay attention to the context. I think it's heed here. Let's look. It's the same spelling here. It could be hide, as in treasure up, rather than conceal. He that hath understanding doth hide wisdom, but an undiscreet heart telleth out his foolishness. Hide wisdom in his heart. A diligent hand shall bear rule, but the idle shall be under tribute. Heaviness discourageth the heart of man, but a good word maketh it glad again. The righteous excelleth his neighbor, but the way of the ungodly will deceive themselves. The deceitful man shall not roast that which he took in hunting, but the riches of the just man is of great value. He because he values them, he roasts what he takes. Doesn't let it sit there. In the way of righteousness there is life, and in the same way there is no death. 13. A wise son will hearken to his father's warning, but he that is scornful will not hear when he is reproved. A good man shall enjoy the fruit of his mouth, but he that hath a froward mind shall be spoiled. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but whoso openeth his lips to evil destroyeth himself. The sluggard would fain have, and cannot get his desire, but the soul of the diligent shall have plenty. A righteous man abhorreth lies, but the ungodly shameth both other and himself. Righteousness keepeth the innocent in the way, but ungodliness doth overthrow the sinner. Some men are rich, though they have nothing. Again, some men are poor, having great riches. With goods every man delivereth his life, and the poor will not be reproved. The light of the righteous maketh joyful, but the candle of the ungodly shall be put out. Among the proud there is ever strife, but among those that do all things with advisement there is wisdom. Vainly gotten goods are soon spent, but they that be gathered together with the hand shall increase. Long tarrying for a thing that is deferred grieveth the heart, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Whoso despiseth anything shall be hurt for the same. Shall be hurt for the same. But he that feareth the commandment shall have the reward. A deceitful son shall have no goods, but a discreet servant shall do full well, and his way shall prosper. shall have no good and no goods. The law is a well of life unto the wise, that it may keep him from the snares of death. Good understanding giveth favour, but hard is the way of the despisers. A wise man doeth all things with discretion, but a fool will declare his folly. An ungodly messenger falleth into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is wholesome. He that thinketh scorn to be reformed cometh to poverty and shame, but whoso regardeth correction shall come to honour. When a desire is brought to pass, it delighteth the soul, but fools count it abomination to depart from evil. He that goeth in the company of wise men shall be wise, but whoso is a companion of fools shall be hurt. Mischief followeth upon sinners, but the righteous shall have a good reward. He that is virtuous leaveth an inheritance, or leaveth a heritage unto his children's children, and the riches of the sinner is laid up for the just. There is plenteousness of food in the fields of the poor, but the field not well ordered is without fruit. He that spareth the rod hateth his son, but whoso loveth him chasteneth him betimes. The righteous eateth and is satisfied, but the belly of the ungodly hath never enough. (14) Wise women uphold their house, but a foolish wife plucketh it down. He that walketh in the right path of the Lord feareth him, but he that turneth himself from his ways... I'm a page behind here. But he that turneth himself from his ways despiseth him. He that turneth himself from the Lord's ways despiseth the Lord. In the mouth of the foolish is the rod of pride, but the lips of the wise will preserve them. Where no oxen are, there the crib is empty, but where the oxen labor, there is much fruit. And apparently the crib is the animal crib. I think you can read it as human crib too, but it's technically the crib of the oxen. A faithful witness will not dissemble, but a false record will make a lie. Okay, I've seen the word record to mean a person. Record is a synonym for a witness, a human witness. Who will be my record? I've seen that. Okay, a false record will make a lie. False witness. A scornful body seeketh wisdom, scornful person, and findeth it not. But knowledge is easy to come by unto him that will understand. See that thou meddle not with a fool, in whom thou perceivest to be no knowledge. The wisdom of him that hath understanding is to take heed unto his way, but the foolishness of the unwise deceiveth. Fools make but a sport of sin, but there is a favourable love among the righteous. The heart feeleth his own life's bitterness. Neither shall the stranger be partaker of his joy. The house of the ungodly shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the righteous shall flourish. There is a way which some men think to be right, but the end thereof leadeth unto death. The heart is sorrowful even in laughter, and the end of mirth is heaviness. A backsliding heart shall be filled with his own ways, but a good man shall live of his fruits. An ignorant body, or person, believeth all things, but whoso hath understanding looketh well to his goings. A deceitful son shall have no good, but a discreet servant shall do well, and his way shall prosper. This is the same thing as over here. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but a furious fool goeth on presumptuously. An impatient man dealeth foolishly, but he that is well advised is hated of the fool. The ignorant have foolishness in possession, but the wise are crowned with knowledge. The evil shall bow themselves before the good, and the ungodly shall wait at the doors of the righteous. The poor is hated even of his own neighbors, but the rich hath many friends. Whoso despiseth his neighbor doeth amiss, but blessed is he that hath pity of the poor. And who is your neighbor? You get to choose. The poor will inherit the kingdom. So be neighbor to the poor. That is the advice. That is advice. He that putteth his trust in the Lord loveth to be merciful. Without doubt they err that imagine wickedness, but they that muse upon good things, unto such shall happen mercy and faithfulness. In every labor there is some profit, but only vain words bring forth penury. But only vain words. Vain words. What's that? It's not fainted. Is that like begging or desperate? I don't think so. But only vain words? Is that how it is over here? Oh. Oh. Only vain words. But, oh, lip labor bringeth forth penury. Different kind of phrasing here. Vain words. Empty words. Words without action. In contrast to labor. Riches are as a crown unto the wise, but the ignorance of fools is very foolishness. A faithful witness delivereth souls, but a deceitful witness bringeth forth lies. The fear of the Lord is a stronghold, and his children are under a sure defense. The fear of the Lord is a well of life, to avoid the snares of death. The increase and prosperity of the common people, is the king's honor, but the decay of the people is the confusion of the prince. He that is patient hath much understanding, but he that is soon displeased provoketh foolishness. A merry heart is the life of the body, but a rancor consumeth away the bones. He that doeth a poor man wrong blasphemeth his Maker, but whoso hath pity of the poor doeth honor unto God. The ungodly is cast away for his iniquity, but the righteous hath a good hope even in death. Wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding, and it shall be known among them that are unlearned. Righteousness setteth up the people, but the sacrifice of the heathen is sinful. A discreet servant is a pleasure unto the king, but one that is not honest provoketh him unto wrath. 15. A soft answer putteth down displeasure, but froward words provoke unto anger. The tongue of such as be wise useth knowledge aright. As for a foolish mouth, it babbleth out nothing but foolishness. The eyes of the Lord look on every place, beholding both the good and bad. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but he that abuseth it hath a broken mind. Whoa. A fool despiseth his father's correction, but he that taketh heed when he is reproved shall have the more understanding. Where righteousness is plentiful, there is very great power, but the imaginations of the ungodly shall be rooted out. The house of the righteous is full of riches, but the increase of the ungodly are nigh destruction. A wise mouth poureth out knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doth not so, or doeth not so. The Lord abhorreth the sacrifice of the ungodly, but the prayer of the righteous is acceptable unto him. The way of the ungodly is an abomination unto the Lord, but whoso followeth righteousness, him he loveth. He that forsaketh the right way shall be sore punished, and whoso hateth correction shall die. The hell with her pain? I wasn't saying what the hell, I was asking if this is the word hell here. It could be. I am not sure. I have to scroll this anyhow. The hell with her pain. Her, huh? Okay. I could say hell with her pain is known unto the Lord, how much more than the hearts of men. No. How much more than the hearts of men? How much more then are the hearts of men known unto the Lord? A scornful body loveth not one that rebuketh him, neither will he come unto the wise. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but an heavy heart compelleth a man to sigh. The heart of him that hath understanding doth seek after knowledge, but the mouth of fools is fed with foolishness. All the days of the poor are miserable, but a quiet heart is a continual feast. Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure with sorrow. Better is a mess of pottage with love than a fat ox with evil will. An angry man stirreth up strife, but he that is patient stilleth discord. The way of a slothful man is, as it were, hedged with thorns, but the street of the righteous is well cleansed. A wise son maketh a glad father, but an undiscreet body or person shameth his mother. A fool rejoiceth in foolish things, but a wise man looketh well to his own goings. Unadvised thoughts shall come to naught, but whereas men are that can give good counsel, there is steadfastness. Oops. A joyful thing it is to a man when his counsel is followed, and very pleasant is a word spoken in due season. The way of life leadeth unto heaven, that a man should beware of hell beneath. The Lord will break down the house of the proud, but he shall make fast the borders of the widow. The Lord abhorreth the imaginations of the wicked, but pure words of innocence are pleasant unto him. This could be the innocence, or it could be a spelling of innocence. The covetous man rooteth up his own house, but whoso hateth rewards shall live. Through mercy and faith are sins purged, and through the fear of the Lord doth every one eschew evil. The heart of the righteous studieth his answer afore, but the wicked man's mouth speweth out mischief. The Lord is far from the ungodly, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. Like as the clearness of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, so doth a good name feed the bones. The ear that hearkeneth to the reformation of life shall dwell among the wise. He that refuseth to be reformed despiseth his own soul, but he that submitteth himself to correction is wise. The fear of the Lord is the right science of wisdom, and lowliness goeth before honor. 16. A man may well purpose a thing in his heart, but the answer of the tongue cometh of the Lord. A man thinketh all his ways to be clean, but it is the Lord that judgeth the minds. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and look, what thou devisest, it shall prosper. The Lord doeth all things for his own sake, yea, and when he keepeth the ungodly for the day of wrath. The Lord abhorreth all such as be of a proud heart. His hand is against their hand, and they shall not escape as innocents. The beginning of a good life is to do righteousness, for that is more accepted unto God than to offer up sacrifices. With loving mercy and faithfulness sins be forgiven, and whoso feareth the Lord escheweth evil. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh his very enemies to be his friends. Better it is to have a little thing with righteousness than great rents wrongfully gotten. First time seeing rent as a payment or reward or something. A man deviseth a way, he deviseth a way in his heart, but it is the Lord that ordereth his goings. Deviseth a way, devise a way. When the prophecy is in the lips of the king, his mouth shall not go wrong in judgment. A true measure and true balance are the Lord's judgment. He maketh all weights. It is a great abomination when kings are wicked, for a king's seat should be holden up with righteousness. Righteous lips are pleasant unto kings, and he that speaketh the truth shall be beloved. The king's displeasure is a messenger of death, but a wise man will pacify him. The cheerful countenance of the king is life, and his loving favor is as the evening dew. To have wisdom in possession is better than to have gold, and to get understanding is rather to be chosen than to have silver. The path of the righteous is to eschew evil, and whoso looketh well to his ways keepeth his own soul. Presumptuousness goeth before destruction, and after a proud stomach there followeth a fall. Better is it to be of humble mind with the lowly, than to divide the spoils. Let's see. There's a page missing here, so we're going to go over here. Discretion of wars. Better is it to be of humble mind with the lowly than to divide the spoils with the proud. He that handleth a matter wisely obtaineth good, and blessed is he that putteth his trust in the Lord. Whoso hath a wise understanding shall be called to counsel, and he that can speak fair shall have the more learning. Understanding is a well of life unto him that hath it. As for the chastening of fools, it is but foolishness. A wise heart ordereth his mouth wisely, and amendeth the doctrine in his lips. Fair words are an honeycomb, a refreshing of the mind, and health of the bones. There is a way that men think to be right, but the end thereof leadeth unto death. A troublous soul disquieteth herself, for her own mouth hath brought her thereto. Brought her to it. An ungodly person stirreth up evil, and in his lips he is as an hot burning fire. A froward body causeth strife, and he that is a blab of his tongue, maketh division among princes. A wicked man beguileth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. Okay, and this might be a verb. He that is a blab, a blabbing with his tongue. Something like that. The ungodly that looketh ghastly with his eyes imagineth mischief, and when he moveth his lips, he will do some harm. That looketh hastily. This might be hastily. It almost looks like gazing. No, I think this is just a type substitution. G for H. I'm going to note that. looketh hastily with his eyes. Age is a crown of worship if it be found in the way of righteousness. A patient man is better than one strong, and he that can rule himself is more worth than he that winneth a city. The lots are cast into the lap, but the ordering thereof standeth all in the Lord. Better is a dry morsel with quietness than a house full of fat offering with strife. Fat offering. A discreet servant shall have more rule than the sons that have no wisdom, and shall have like heritage with the brethren. Like as silver is tried in the fire, and gold in the furnace, even so doth the Lord prove the hearts. A wicked body or person giveth audience to false lips, and a froward person giveth ear to a deceitful tongue. Whoso laugheth the poor to scorn blasphemeth his Maker, and he that is glad of another man's hurt shall not be unpunished. Children's children are a worship unto the elders, and the fathers are the honor of the children. Speech of authority becometh not a fool, much less a lying mouth than much less a lying mouth than beseemeth a prince. Much less a lying mouth than beseemeth a prince. A reward is as a precious stone unto him that hath it, but unto whomsoever it turneth, it maketh him unwise. Unto whomsoever it turneth. Whosoever the reward is turned to or given to. It's kind of like the reward is in circulation. It's just passed around from one to the next. Whoso covereth another man's offense seeketh love, but he that discloseth the fault setteth the prince against himself. One reproof only doth more good to him that hath understanding, or doeth more good, than 100 stripes unto a fool. A seditious person seeketh mischief, and therefore is a cruel messenger sent against him. It were better to come against a she-bear robbed of her whelps, than against a fool trusting in his foolishness. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, the plague shall not depart from his house. The beginning of strife is as when a man maketh an issue for water. Therefore, ere the meeting believe off. Okay, wow. Therefore, ere the meeting be, leave off contention. Wow. The beginning of strife is as when a man maketh an issue for water. Therefore, ere or before the meeting be, leave off contention. The Lord hateth as well him that justifieth the ungodly, as him that condemneth the innocent. The Lord hateth them both, as well him as him. What helpeth it to give a fool treasure in his hand, whereas he hath no mind to buy wisdom? Whoso buildeth his house too high, overly high, seeketh destruction, and he that refuseth to learn shall fall into mischief. He is a friend that always loveth, and in adversity a man shall know who is his brother. Whoso promiseth by the hand, and is surety for his neighbor, he is a fool. He that delighteth in sin loveth strife, and whoso setteth his door too high seeketh after a fall. Whoso hath a froward heart obtaineth no good, and he that hath an over wow, what is this? He that hath an overthwart. I want to say this is a spelling of toward or something, an overtoward tongue. Not sure. And I don't have another version to look at because the page is missing from the primary one. Over toward. I can't quite see it because of the scan. The ink is light there. He that begetteth a fool begetteth his sorrow, and the father of a fool can have no joy. A merry heart maketh a lusty age, but a sorrowful mind drieth up the bones. The ungodly taketh gifts out of his bosom to rest the ways of judgment. Wisdom shineth in the face of him that hath understanding, but the eyes of fools wander throughout all lands. An undiscreet son is a grief unto his father, and an heaviness unto his mother. To punish the innocent, and to smite the princes that give true judgment, are both evil. A wise man useth few words, and he is a man of understanding, that maketh much of his spirit. He is a man of understanding that maketh much of his spirit. Yea, a very fool, when he holdeth his tongue, is counted wise, and to have understanding when he shutteth his lips. He is counted to have understanding when he shutteth his lips. 18. He accompanieth himself with all steadfast and healthsome doctrine, that hath a fervent desire to it, and is sequestrate from company. Wow. Sequestrate. Could be a spelling of sequestered, but it's obviously an adverb, or adjective. To be sequestered. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but only in those things wherein his heart rejoiceth. When the ungodly cometh, then cometh also disdain, and with the dishonest person cometh shame and dishonor. The words of a wise man's mouth are like deep waters, and the well of wisdom is like a full stream. It is not good to regard the person of the ungodly, or to put back the righteous in judgment, or set back. A fool's lips are ever brawling, but and his mouth provoketh unto battle. A fool's mouth is his own destruction, and his lips are the snare for his own soul. The words of a slanderer are very wounds, and go through unto the inmost parts of the body. Fear casteth down him that is slothful, and the souls of such as live in voluptuousness shall hunger. Whoso is slothful and slack in his labor is the brother of him that is a waster. The name of the Lord is a strong castle. The righteous fleeth unto it, and is in safeguard. But the rich man's goods are his stronghold. Yea, he taketh them for an high wall round about him. After pride cometh destruction, and honor after lowliness. He that giveth sentence in a matter before he hear it is a fool, and worthy to be confounded. A good stomach driveth away a man's disease, but when the spirit is vexed, who may bide it? A wise heart laboureth for knowledge, and a prudent ear seeketh understanding. Liberality bringeth a man to honour and worship, and setteth him among great men. The righteous declareth his own cause first himself. If his neighbour come, he shall find him. Okay, I see. The righteous declareth his own cause first himself. If his neighbour come, he shall find him. I think the idea is his neighbour come, he shall find him. Yeah. I have to make a note of this. Look into it later. Declareth his own cause first himself. Okay. The lot pacifieth the variance. Oh, casting lots pacifies the variance, and parteth the mighty asunder. A brother, though he be grieved with offence, yet is he more wroth than a very strong castle, more worth than a very strong castle, and they that hold together are like the bar of a palace. The bars of the door of the palace. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his own mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. Death and life are in the instrument of the tongue. Are part of the instrument of the tongue. And they that loveth shall enjoy the fruit thereof. Whoso findeth a wife, or a good wife, findeth a good thing, and receiveth an wholesome benefit of the Lord. He that putteth away a good woman putteth away a good thing, but he that keepeth an harlot is a fool and unwise. The poor maketh supplication and prayeth meekly, but the rich giveth a rough answer. A man that loveth his friends will be companionable. Oh, companionable. I think this is companionable, or something similar. With them. Companionable with them. And some friend stick faster to a man than his brother. 19. Better is the poor that liveth godly than the blasphemer that is but a fool. Where no discretion is, there the soul is inclined to the thing that is not good, and is swift on foot, and offendeth. Foolishness maketh a man to go out of his way, and then is his heart unpatient against the Lord. Riches make many friends, but the poor is forsaken of his neighbor. A false witness shall not remain unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. The multitude hangeth upon great men, and every man favoureth him that giveth rewards. As for the poor, he is hated among all his brethren, yea, his own friends withdraw from him. And if he ask them the cause, they disdain to answer him. He that is wise loveth his own soul, and keepeth understanding, that he may prosper. A false witness shall not remain unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. Pleasure becometh not a fool, much more unseemly is it a bondman to have the rule of princes. Much more unseemly is it that a bondman have the rule of princes. A wise man can put off displeasure. A wise man can put off displeasure, and it is his honor to let some faults pass. Put off displeasure. I think this is like pacify displeasure. Well, or his own feeling of displeasure, maybe. Either way. The king's disfavor. Yeah, because now we might talk about the king's displeasure. The king's disfavor is like the roaring of a lion, but his friendship is like the dew upon the grass. An undiscreet son is the heaviness of his father, and a brawling wife is like the top. Oh, is like the top of the house wherethrough it is ever dropping. I think this is translated a little bit differently in the King James. Or unless that's later, it's better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling wife. Well, this is true as well. House and riches may a man have by the heritage of his elders, but a discreet woman is the gift of the Lord. Slothfulness bringeth sleep, and a soul accustomed with craft shall suffer hunger. Craftiness. Whoso keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul, but he that regardeth not his way shall die. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord. And look, what he layeth out, it shall be paid him again. Look is usually used like lo or behold. Lo, what he layeth out, it shall be paid him again. I don't know if the word lo is in here. It might be always look. Chasten thy son while there is hope, but let not thy soul be moved to slay him. Yeah. Let not thy, you know, let not thy soul be moved. And moved can mean, disturbed, stirred up in anger. A man of great wrath beareth a pain. Uh, and though thou once deliver him, thou must again do as much for him. A man of great wrath beareth a pain. A grudge? Is that grudge? And though thou once deliver him, even if you help him once, thou must again do as much. Thou must again do as much for him, again and again. O give ear unto good counsel, and be content to be reformed, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter days. There are many devices in a man's heart, nevertheless the counsel of the Lord shall stand forever. It is a man's worship to do good, and better it is to be a poor man than a dissembler. The fear of the Lord bringeth a man to life, and he shall rest the whole night in plenteousness, without visitation of any plague. A slothful man shutteth his hands into his bosom as into the pot, and will not take pain to put it to his mouth. Into the dish, but he won't even lift it to his mouth. If thou smitest a scornful person, the ignorant shall take better heed. And if thou reprovest one that hast understanding, he will be the wiser. He that hurteth his father, or shutteth out his mother, is a shameful and an unworthy son. My son, hear no more the doctrine that leadeth thee unto errors from the words, away from the words of understanding. A false witness laugheth judgment to scorn, and the mouth of the ungodly eateth wickedness. Punishments are ordained for the scornful, and stripes for fools' backs. 20. Wine maketh a man to be scornful, and strong drink causeth a man to be unquiet. Whoso delighteth therein shall never be wise. The king ought to be feared as the roaring of a lion. Whoso provoketh him unto anger offendeth against his own soul. It is a man's honor to keep himself from strife, but they that have pleasure in brawling are fools every one. A slothful body will not go to plough for cold of the winter. Therefore shall he go a-begging in summer, and have nothing. Wise counsel in the heart of man is like water in the deep of the earth. And a man that hath understanding bringeth it forth. Many there be that would be called good doers, but where shall one find a true faithful man? Whoso leadeth a goodly and an innocent life is righteous, and happy shall his children be whom he leaveth behind him. A king that sitteth in the throne of judgment, and looketh well about him, driveth away all evil. Who can say, My heart is clean, I am innocent from sin? To use two manner of weights, or two manner of measures, both these are abominable unto the Lord. A child is known by his conversation, or versing, whether his works be pure and right. The ear to hear, the eye to see, the Lord hath made them both. Delight not thou in sleep, lest thou come unto poverty, but open thine eyes, that thou mayest have bread enough to eat. It is not, saith he that buyeth anything, but when he cometh to his own house, then he boasteth of his pennyworth, of the deal that he got. A man that hath a mouth of understanding hath many precious stones and costly jewels. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, the one who is surety for a stranger. Take his garment, and take a pledge of him for the unknown man's sake. Every man liketh the bread that is gotten with deceit, but at the last his mouth shall be filled with gravel. Through counsel the things that men devise go forward, and with discretion ought wars to be taken in hand. Okay. The crafty deceitful bewrayeth secret counsel, and to him that custometh flattering lips join not thyself. Custometh. Okay, I think this is harder language than this version. Here. The crafty deceitful bewrayeth secret counsel. No, is the same thing. And to him that custometh flattering lips, is accustomed to using flattering lips, join not thyself. Custom. To custom something. Be accustomed in something. I'm pretty sure. Whoso curseth his father and his mother, his light shall be put out in the midst of darkness. The heritage that cometh too hastily at the first shall not be praised at the end. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but put thy trust in the Lord, and he shall defend thee. The Lord abhorreth two manner of weights, and a false balance is an evil thing. The Lord ordereth every man's goings. How may a man then understand his own way? It is a snare for a man to devour that which is holy, and after the vow to turn to thine own use the thing thou hast vowed. And after vowing to turn that vowed thing to your own use. That is a snare. Okay. Something vowed or pledged or promised. A wise king destroyeth the ungodly, and bringeth the wheel over them. The lantern of the Lord is the breath of man, and goeth through all the inward parts of the body. Mercy and faithfulness preserve the king, and with loving kindness his seed is holden up. The strength of young men is their worship, and a grey head is an honour unto the aged. Wounds drive away evil, and so do stripes the inward parts of the body. Okay. Stripes do not drive away the inward parts of the body. Wounds drive away evil, and so do stripes. Well, maybe this indicates evil in the inward parts of the body. That's an interesting saying. That's the end of chapter 20. That's one to look up, the very last verse of chapter 20. 22. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, like as are the rivers of water. He may turn it whithersoever he will. Every man thinketh his own way to be right, but the Lord judgeth the hearts. To do righteousness and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. A presumptuous look, a proud stomach, and the plowing of the ungodly is sin. The devices of one that is diligent bring plenteousness, but he that is unadvised cometh unto poverty. He that is unadvised. Whoso hoardeth up riches with the deceitfulness of his tongue, he is vain and a fool, and like unto them that seek their own death. The robberies of the ungodly shall be their own destruction, for they will not do the thing that is right. The ways of the froward are strange, but the works of him that is clean are right. It is better to dwell in a corner under the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. There it is. I guess both ideas are in there. That the brawling woman is like the housetop that is dropping through. Oh, I don't think it's brawling though. I think it's like contentious in that other chapter. The soul of the ungodly wisheth evil, and hath no pity upon his neighbor. When the scornful is punished, the ignorant take the better head. When the ignorant, they take heed to, I think this is better heed. And when he seeth the wise men prosper, he will receive the more understanding. When the scornful is punished, the ignorant take the better heed. Wow. The righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked, and for their wickedness God overthroweth the ungodly. And for their wickedness. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the crying of the poor, he shall cry himself, and not be heard. A privy reward pacifieth displeasure, and a gift in the bosom stilleth furiousness. The judge delighteth in doing the thing that is right, but over the workers of wickedness hangeth destruction. The man that wandereth out of the way of wisdom shall remain in the congregation of the dead. He that hath pleasure in banquets shall be a poor man. Whoso delighteth in wine and delicates shall not be rich. The ungodly shall be given for the righteous, and the wicked for the just. They shall be exchanged. Their places shall be exchanged. Well, their places will be given over. It is better to do well. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a chiding and an angry woman. In a wise man's house there is great treasure and oil, but a foolish body or person spendeth up all. Whoso followeth righteousness and mercy findeth both life, righteousness, and honor. Yeah, that's right, both. A wise man winneth the city of the mighty, and as for the strength that they trust in, he bringeth it down. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue, the same keepeth his soul from troubles. He that is proud and presumptuous is called a scornful man, which in wrath dare work maliciously. Which in wrath dare work maliciously. The proud and presumptuous. The voluptuousness of the slothful is his own death, for his hands will not labor. He coveteth and desireth all the day long, but the righteous is always giving, and keepeth nothing back. Okay. The slothful coveteth and desireth, but the righteous is always giving. The sacrifice of the ungodly is abomination. How much more when they offer the thing that is gotten with wickedness? A false witness shall perish, but he that is a true man boldly speaketh that he hath heard. An ungodly man goeth forth rashly, but the just reformeth his own way. There is no wisdom, there is no understanding, there is no counsel against the Lord. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but the Lord giveth victory. 22. A good name is more worth than great riches, and loving favor is better than silver and gold. The rich and poor are together. The rich and poor are together. They're the same. The Lord is the maker of them all. A wise man seeth the plague and hideth himself, but the foolish go on still and are punished. The end of lowliness and the fear of God is riches, honor, prosperity, and health. The end state, or the destination. The result? Destination. Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward, but he that doth keep his soul will flee from such. Teach a child in his youth what way he should go, for he shall not leave it when he is old. The rich ruleth the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He that soweth wickedness shall reap sorrow, and the rod of his cruelty shall perish. He that hath a loving eye shall be blessed, for he giveth for his bread, giveth forth his bread unto the poor. This might be forth. Giveth of his bread unto the poor is another reading. So there's a typo. You can tell what it is by context. Whoso giveth rewards shall obtain um, victory. Oh, yeah, that's victory. Vyctorye. Whoso giveth rewards shall obtain victory and honor, but he taketh away the soul of such as receive them. Whoa. Cast out the scornful man, and so shall strife go out with him. Yea, variance and slander shall cease. Whoso delighteth to be of a clean heart and of gracious lips, the king shall be his friend. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but as for the words of the despiteful, he bringeth them to naught. The slothful body or person saith, There is a lion without, I might be slain in the street. The mouth of an harlot is a deep pit, wherein he falleth, that the Lord is angry withal. Wherein he falleth, with whom the Lord is angry. Foolishness sticketh in the heart of the lad, and the rod of correction shall drive it away. Whoso doeth a poor man wrong, to increase his own riches, and giveth unto the rich to please him, at the last cometh to poverty himself. My son, bow down thine ear, and hearken unto the words of wisdom. Apply thy mind unto my doctrine, for thou shalt be excellent if thou keep it in thine heart, and practice it in thy mouth, that thou mayest put thy trust in the Lord. I have showed thee this day the thing that thou knowest. Have not I warned thee very oft with counsel and learning, that I might show thee the truth, and that thou with the verity, thou with the verity mightest answer them that send unto thee? Okay. Or with verity, and that thou with verity mightest answer them that send unto thee. See that thou rob not the poor because he is weak, and oppress not the simple in judgment. For the Lord himself will defend their cause, and do violence unto them that have used violence. Make no friendship with an angry, wilful man, and keep no company with the furious, lest thou learn his ways, and receive hurt in thy soul. Be not thou one of them that bind their hand upon promise, and are surety for weighty causes. For if thou hast nothing to pay, they shall take away thy bed from under thee. Thou shalt not remove the landmark which thy foreelders have set. Seest thou not that they which be diligent in their business stand before kings, and not among the simple people? Diligent in their business. 23. When thou sittest at the table to eat with the Lord, order thyself mannerly with the things that are set before thee. Measure thine appetite, and if thou wilt rule thine own self, be not over greedy of his meat, for meat beguileth and deceiveth. Take not over great travail and labor to be rich. Beware of such a purpose. Why wilt thou set thine eye upon the thing which suddenly vanisheth away? For riches make themselves wings, and take their flight like an eagle into the air. Eat thou not with the envious, and desire not his meat. For he doeth as a man that prescribeth a measure to thee in his heart. Eat not thou with the envious, for he doeth as a man that prescribeth a measure to thee in his heart. Prescribeth a measure to thee. Prescribeth a measure to thee. A man that prescribeth a measure to thee in his heart. The only way to solve that is by looking at the King James, which I should have pulled up, but I don't have it pulled up. So we'll find out what prescribe a measure to someone means. Not quite making sense to me. He saith unto thee, Eat and drink, whereas his heart is not with thee. Whereas his heart is not with thee. what's the word I'm thinking of here? Prescribe a measure. It's like being very um, not deceitful, but kind of holding back his purpose, not letting on. Okay, maybe not. Yea, if the morsels that thou hast eaten shalt thou parbreak, which is vomit, and lose or least those sweet words. Tell nothing into the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. Remove not the old landmark, and come not within the field of the fatherless, for he that delivered them is mighty, even he shall defend their cause against thee. Apply thine heart unto correction, and thine ear to the words of knowledge. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die thereof. If thou smite him with the rod, thou shalt deliver his soul from hell. My son, if thy heart receive wisdom, my heart also shall rejoice. Yea, my reins shall be very glad, if thy lips speak the thing that is right. Let not thine heart be jealous to follow sinners, but keep thee still in the fear of the Lord all the day long, for the end is not yet come, and thy patient abiding shall not be in vain. My son, give ear, and be wise, and set straight thine heart in the way of the Lord. Keep not company with wine-bibbers, and riotous eaters of flesh, for such as be drunkards and riotous shall come to poverty, and he that is given to much sleep shall go with a ragged coat. Give ear unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Labor for to get the truth, sell it not away, and so do by wisdom. Do purchase wisdom, nurture, and understanding. This is education. For a righteous father is marvelous glad of a wise son, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have great pleasure of him. Do so that thy father and mother may be glad of thee, and that she that beareth thee may rejoice. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes have pleasure in my ways. For an whore is a deep grave, and an harlot is a narrow pit. She lurketh like a thief, and bringeth unto her such men as be full of vice. Who hath woe, who hath sorrow, who hath strife, who hath brawling, and who hath wounds without cause, or who hath red eyes, even they that be ever at the wine, and seek excess. Look not thou upon the wine, how red it is, and what a colour it giveth in the glass. It goeth down softly, but at the last it biteth like a serpent, and stingeth as an adder. So shall thine eyes look unto strange women, and thine heart shall muse upon froward things. Yea, thou shalt be as though thou layest in the midst of the sea, or sleepest upon the top of the mast of a ship. They wounded me, shalt thou say, but it hath not hurt me. They have all broken me, but I felt it not. When I am well wakened, I will go to the drink again. 24. Be not thou jealous over wicked men, and desire not to be among them. For their heart imagineth to do hurt, and their lips talk of mischief. Through wisdom is an house builded, and with understanding is it set up. Through discretion shall the chambers be filled with all costly and pleasant riches. A wise man is ever strong, yea, a man of understanding increaseth of strength. For with discretion must wars be taken in hand, and whereas are many that can give counsel, there is the victory. Whereas you can usually leave off the as. Where, or in the same place as are many that can give counsel, there is the victory. Wisdom is too high a thing for a fool, for he dare not open his mouth in the gate. He that imagineth mischief may well be called an ungracious person. The thought of the foolish is sin, and the scornful is an abomination unto men. If thou be overseen and negligent in time of need, then is thy strength but small. Deliver them that go unto death, and are led away to be slain, and be not negligent therein. if thou be able to do them good. Overseen. If thou be overseen. If thou be overseen and negligent. Okay. Be not negligent therein, if thou be able to do them good. If thou wilt say, I knew not of it, thinkest thou that he which made the hearts doth not consider it, and that he which regardeth thy soul seeth it not? Shall not he recompense every man according to his works? My son, thou eatest honey and the sweet honeycomb, because it is good and sweet in thy mouth. Even so shall knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul as soon as thou hast gotten it. And thou shalt have long days, yea, thy hope shall not be in vain. Lay no privy weight, O wicked man, upon the house of the righteous, and disquiet not his resting place. For a just man falleth 7 times, and riseth up again, but the ungodly fall into wickedness. Rejoice not thou at the fall of thine enemy, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth, lest the Lord, when he seeth it, be angry, and turn his wrath from him unto thee. Let not thy wrath and jealousy move thee to follow the wicked and ungodly. And why? The wicked shall have no posterity, and the candle of the ungodly shall be put out. My son, fear thou the Lord and the king. Keep no company with them that slide back from his fear, for their destruction shall come suddenly, and who knoweth the adversity that may come from them both? These are all the sayings of the wise. These are all of these are the sayings of the wise. It is not good to have respect of any person in judgment. He that saith to the ungodly, Thou art righteous, him shall the people curse. Yea, the commonalty shall abhor him. The common people? The commons? But they that rebuke the ungodly, in them doth God delight, and a rich blessing shall come upon them. Every man shall kiss his lips that giveth a good answer. First make up thy work that is without, and look well unto that which thou hast in the field, and then build thine house. Be not a false witness against thy neighbor, and speak no falsehood with thy lips. Say not, I will handle him. I will handle things with him, even as he hath dealt with me, and will reward every man according to his deeds. I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the foolish man, and lo, it was all covered with nettles, and stood full of thistles, and the stone wall was broken down. This I saw, and considered it well. I looked upon it, and took it for a warning. Yea, sleep on still, I say, a little, slumber a little, fold thy hands together yet a little. So shall poverty come unto thee, as one that travaileth or travelleth by the way, and necessity like a weaponed man. (25) These are also the parables of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah king of Judah copied out. It is the honor of God to keep a thing secret, but the king's honor is to search out a thing. The heaven is high, the earth is deep, and the king's heart is unsearchable. Take the dross from the silver, and there shall be a clean vessel thereof. Take away ungodliness from the king, and his seat shall be established with righteousness. Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and press not into the place of great men. Better is it that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than thou to be put lower in the presence of the prince, whom thou seest with thine eyes. Be not hasty to go to the law, lest haply, Haply thou do some offence after the strife be ended, whereby thy neighbor put thee to shame. Okay. Handle thy matter with thy neighbor himself, and discover not another man's secret, lest, when men hear thereof, it turn to thy dishonour, and lest thine evil name do not cease. Um, Brace? What's that? And friendship doth deliver, which see that thou keep for thyself. Oh, which see that thou keep for thyself, lest thou be reproved. Grace? Oh, that might be a G. Grace and friendship. Maybe. That's hard to read. I guess that's a G, because I don't know what brace would mean. Grace and friendship doth deliver a person from danger. A word spoken in due season is like apples of gold in a graved work of silver. Engraved work of silver. The correction of the wise is to an obedient ear. The correction of the wise is to an obedient ear a golden chain and a jewel of gold. Wow. They left out the word like because it's implied. A word spoken is like apples of gold. The correction of the wise is to an obedient ear. They could have left out is. The correction of the wise to an obedient ear, and a golden chain and a jewel of gold. Cool. Like as the winter cold in the harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them that send him. For he refresheth his master's mind. Whoso maketh great boasts and giveth nothing is like clouds and wind without rain. With patience is a prince pacified, and with a soft tongue is rigorousness broken. If thou findest honey, eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be sufficient for thee, lest thou be overfull, and break it out again, vomit it out again. Withdraw thy foot from thy neighbour's house, lest he be weary of thee, and so abhor thee. Whoso beareth false witness against his neighbour, he is a very club, a sword, and a sharp arrow. The hope that is put in a false man in a time of need is like a rotten tooth and a slippery foot. Whoso taketh away a man's garment in the cold weather is like vinegar upon chalk, or like him that singeth songs to an heavy heart. Vinegar upon chalk. Like as the moth hurteth a garment and a worm a tree, so doth the heaviness of a man hurt the heart. If thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink, for so shalt thou heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. The north wind driveth away the rain, even so doth an earnest, sober countenance a backbiter's tongue. Drive away a backbiter's tongue. It is better to sit in a corner under the roof than with a brawling woman in a wide house. A good report out of a far country is like cold water to a thirsty soul. A righteous man falling down before the ungodly is like a troubled well in a spring that is destroyed. Like as it is not good to eat too much honey, even so he that will search out high things, it shall be too heavy for him. He that cannot rule himself is like a city which is broken down and hath no walls. 26. Like as snow is not meet or fitting in summer, nor rain in harvest, even so is worship unseemly for a fool. Or praise. Worship seems to be interchangeable with praise in this version. Like as the bird and the swallow take their flight and fly here and there, so the curse that is given in vain shall not light upon a man. uh, given in vain. Unto the horse belongeth a whip, to the ass a bridle, and to a rod, and a rod to the fool's back. Give not the fool an answer after his foolishness, lest thou become like him. But make the fool an answer to his foolishness. Make an answer to the fool's foolishness, lest he be wise in his own conceit. He is lame of his feet, yea, drunken is he in vanity, that committeth any message to a fool. Like as in a lame man his legs are not equal, even so is a parable in a fool's mouth. He that setteth a fool in high dignity, that is even as if a man put a stone in a sling. A parable in a fool's mouth is like a thorn that pricketh a drunken man in the hand. Oh. Great is he that hath formed all things. He rewardeth the fool, and recompenseth the transgressors. A man of experience discerneth all things well, but he that putteth the fool to silence endeth the strife. Like as the dog turneth again to his own vomit, even so a fool beginneth his foolishness again afresh. If thou seest a man that is wise in his own conceit, there is more hope in a fool than in him. The slothful saith, There is a lion in the way, and a lion in the midst of the streets. So he doesn't go outside. Like as the door turneth about upon the hinges, even so doth the slothful welter, or wallow himself in his bed. The slothful body person thrusteth his hand into his bosom, and it grieveth him to put it again to his mouth. The sluggard thinketh himself wiser than 7 men that sit and teach. Whoso goeth by and meddleth with other men's strife, he is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. Like as a madman that casteth firebrands, and shooteth deadly arrows and darts, even so doth a dissembler with his neighbor. A dissembler. And then saith he, when he is taken, I did it but in sport. It was a prank. But where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. Even so, where the betrayer is. Okay. Even so, where the tail betrayer is taken away, there the strife ceaseth. Coals kindle heat, and wood the fire, even so doth a brawling fellow stir up variance. A talebearer's words are like men that strike with hammers, but they pierce the inward parts of the body. Venomous lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. An enemy shall be known by his talking, and in the meantime he imagineth mischief. But when he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Whoso keepeth evil will evil will. Whoso keepeth evil will secretly to do hurt, his malice shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth up a pit shall fall therein, and he that weltereth or rolleth a stone shall stumble upon it himself. So welter can be roll, stumble upon it. This is like, I guess, okay, rolling a stone, like casting it into the path where people are walking. He'll stumble upon it himself. A dissembling tongue hateth one that rebuketh him, and a flattering mouth worketh mischief. 27. Make not thy boast of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what may happen today. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, yea, other folks' lips, and not thine. The stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is a cruel thing, and furiousness is a very tempest, but who is able to abide envy? An open rebuke is better than a secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a lover, but the kisses of an enemy are cruel. The embraces. He that is full poureth in honeycomb, but unto him that is hungry, even every sour thing is sweet. He that oft times flitteth, this is moving, moving from place to place, is like a bird that forsaketh her nest. This verb is even used for moving your house or your dwelling. Flitteth. Balm and sweet incense make their heart merry. So is the sweet counsel of a man's friend that agreeth to his purpose. Thine own friend and thy father's friend see thou forsake not, but go not into thy brother's house in time of thy trouble. For better is a friend at hand than a brother far off. My son, be wise, and thou shalt make me a glad heart, so that I shall make an answer unto my rebukers. A glad heart given that I shall make an answer unto my rebukers. A wise man, seeing the plague, will hide himself. As for fools, they go on still, and suffer harm. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for the unknown man's sake. He that is too hasty to praise his neighbor above measure shall be taken as one that giveth him an evil report. A brawling woman and the roof of the house dropping in a rainy day may well be compared together. He that refraineth her, he refraineth the wind, and holdeth the oil fast in his hand. Doesn't seem possible. Like as one iron whetteth another, so doth one man comfort another, or fortify, strengthen another. Whoso keepeth his fig tree shall enjoy the fruits thereof, even so he that waiteth upon his master shall come to honor. Like as in one water there appear diverse faces, even so diverse men have diverse hearts. Like as hell and destruction are never full, even so the eyes of men can never be satisfied. Silver is tried in the mold, and gold in the furnace, and so is a man when he is openly praised to his face. That is a trial. The heart of a wicked man seeketh after mischief, but a true heart seeketh for knowledge. Though thou shouldest bray a fool with a pestle in a mortar, like fermenty corn, yet will not his foolishness go from him. See that thou know the number of thy cattle thyself, and look well to thy flocks. For riches abideth not always, and the crown endureth not forever. The high growth, the grass... what is this? The rye? The grass cometh up, and herbs are gathered in the mountains. Seems like that's supposed to be rye. 27. Oh, the hay. The hay groweth. Okay. The lambs shall clothe thee, and for the goats thou shalt have money to thy husbandry. Thou shalt have goats' milk enough to feed thee, to uphold thy household, and to sustain thy maidens. 28. The ungodly fleeth, when no man chaseth him. Chasteth? Chaseth. Okay. When no man chaseth him. I don't know why there's an extra T in there. Chaseth. But it's obvious what it means. But the righteous standeth stiff as a lion. Because of sin the land doth oft change her prince. But through men of understanding and wisdom a realm endureth long. One poor man oppressing another by violence is like a continual rain that destroyeth the fruit. They that forsake the law praise the ungodly, but such as keep the law abhor them. Wicked men discern not the thing that is right, but they that seek after the Lord discuss all things. A poor man leading a good godly life is better than the rich that goeth in froward ways, perverse ways. Whoso keepeth the law is a child of understanding, but he that is a companion of riotous men shameth his father. He that by usury and unjust gains gathereth riches, he shall lay them in store for a man that will pity the poor. What he gets will be taken from him, and be bestowed on the poor again. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, his prayer shall be abominable in the Lord's sight. Whoso leadeth the righteous into an evil way shall fall into his own pit. But the just shall have the good in possession, or the goods in possession. The rich man thinketh himself to be wise, but the poor that hath understanding can perceive him well enough. When righteous men are in prosperity, then doth honor flourish. But when the ungodly come up, the state of men changeth, or the estates are exchanged, or changed out. He that hideth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso acknowledgeth them and forsaketh them shall have mercy. Well is him that standeth alway in awe, or in fear of the Lord. As for him that hardeneth his heart, he shall fall into mischief. Like as a roaring lion and an hungry bear, even so is an ungodly prince over the poor people. Where the prince is without understanding, there is great oppression and wrong. But if he be such a one as hateth covetousness, he shall long reign. He that by violence sheddeth any man's blood, sheddeth with an E. He that by violence sheddeth any man's blood shall be a renegade unto his grave, all the way to his grave, and no man shall be able to succor him or rescue him. Whoso leadeth a godly and an innocent life shall be saved, but he that goeth froward ways shall once have a fall. He that goeth froward ways shall once have a fall. He that tilleth his land shall have plenteousness of bread, but he that followeth idleness shall have poverty enough. A man that dealeth faithfully with others shall be filled with blessings, and he that maketh too much haste for to be rich shall not be unguilty. To have respect of persons in judgment is not good, and why? A man will do wrong, yea, even for a piece of bread he'll do wrong. He that will be rich all too soon hath an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall come upon him. He that following my precepts rebuketh a man shall find more favor at the last than he that flattereth him. Whoso robbeth his father and mother, and saith it is no sin, even saying it's a gift, korban, that same is like unto a destroyer. He that is of a proud stomach and without fear stirreth up strife. This is even a spelling of stairs, like stepping stairs. This is stirreth up strife. But he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be well fed. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but he that dealeth wisely shall be safe, or made whole. Shall be safe. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that turneth away his eyes from such as be in necessity shall suffer great poverty himself. When the ungodly are come up, men are fain to hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. 29. He that is stiff-necked and will not be reformed shall suddenly be destroyed without any help. When the righteous have the overhand, the people are in prosperity. But when the ungodly beareth rule, there the people mourn. Whoso loveth wisdom maketh his father a glad man. But he that keepeth company with harlots spendeth away that which he hath. With true judgment the king setteth up the land, establisheth the land. But if he be a man that oppresseth the poor with assemblies, he turneth it upside down. Because it's a hardship to always make the people gather together. Whoso flattereth his neighbor layeth a net for his feet. The sin of the wicked is his own snare, but the righteous doth sing and rejoice. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the ungodly regardeth no understanding. Wicked people bring a city in decay, but wise men set it up again. If a wise man go to law with a fool, whether he deal with him friendly or roughly, he getteth no rest. The bloodthirsty hate the righteous, but the just seek his soul. The safety of his soul. A fool poureth out his spirit altogether, or his mind. A wise man keepeth it in till afterward. If a prince delight in lies, all his servants are ungodly. The poor and the lender meet together, and the Lord lighteneth both their eyes. The seed of the king that faithfully judgeth the poor shall continue sure for evermore. The rod and correction minister wisdom, but if a child be not looked unto, he bringeth his mother to shame. When the ungodly come up, wickedness increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall. Nurture. Educate thy son with correction, and thou shalt be at rest. Yea, he shall do thee good at thine heart. Nurture is a tricky word. Nurture works just fine here. When the word of God is not preached, the people perish, but well is him that keepeth the law. A servant will not be the better for words, for though he understand, yet will he not regard them. If thou seest a man that is hasty to speak unadvised, thou mayest trust a fool more than him. Wow, that's a pretty short, pretty abbreviated mayest. I've seen M-A-I-S-T, mayest. Thou mayest trust a fool more than him. He that delicately bringeth up his servant from a child shall make him his master at length. His master over his house. Shall make them the master of his house. An angry man stirreth up strife, and he that beareth evil will in his mind doeth much evil. After pride cometh a fall, but a lowly spirit bringeth great worship. Whoso keepeth company with a thief hateth his own soul. He heareth blasphemies, and telleth it not forth. He that feareth men shall have a fall, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord is without danger. Many there be that seek the prince's favor, but every man's judgment cometh from the Lord. The righteous abhorreth the ungodly, but as for those that be in the right way, the wicked hate them. A child that keepeth the word shall be without destruction. 30. The words of Agur, the son of Jakkai. What's this? I don't remember this name. Huh. I need to know. I need to keep track of name spellings. Son of Jacques, Jakeh. Okay, well that's it. And the prophecy that the same man spake unto Etiel, even unto Etiel and Ukal, the words and the prophecy. And this is spake. I am more foolish than any man, and have no man's understanding. Have not the understanding of a man. I never learned wisdom, nor had knowledge of holy things. Who hath climbed up into heaven? Who hath come down from thence? Who hath holden the wind fast in his hand? Who hath comprehended the waters in a garment? Or contained the waters in a garment? Who hath set all the ends of the world? What is his name, or his son's name? Canst thou tell? All the words of God are pure and clean, for he is a shield unto all them that put their trust in him. Put thou nothing unto his words, add nothing, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. 2 things have I required of thee, that thou wilt not deny me before I die. Remove from me vanities and lies, give me neither poverty nor riches, only grant me a necessary living, lest if I be too full, I deny thee, and say, Who is the Lord? And lest I, being constrained through poverty, fall unto stealing, and take the name of my God in vain. Accuse not a servant unto his master, lest he speak evil of thee, and thou be hurt. There is a generation that curseth their father, and doth not bless their mother. There is a generation that think themselves clean, and yet is not cleansed from their filthiness. There is a generation that hath a proud look, and doth cast up their eyelids. There is a generation whose teeth are swords, and with their jawbones they consume and devour the simple of the earth, and the poor from among men. The horse leech hath 2 daughters, crying, Bring hither, bring hither. Yeah, what is that? Give, give. And this, yeah. It's a. There be 3 things that are never satisfied, yea, 4 things. What? What is this? 4 things saith what? What is this they say? Never ho. What's that? I solved this before. This is familiar. What is that? What is this word? Never who? What is that? Never ho. Oh, they never say ho. As in, they never say ho there. Whoa, I gotta look that up. Presumably that's the same word as ho. Ho, such a one. Hold. Yeah, okay. It's short for hold. Saith never ho, hold. The grave, a woman's womb closed, and the earth that hath never water enough. As for the fire, it saith never ho or hold. Whoso laugheth his father to scorn, and setteth his mother's commandment at naught, the ravens pick out his eyes in the valley, and devoured be he of the young eagles. Devoured be he of the young eagles. by the young eagles. There be three things too high for me, and as for the fourth, that what? Okay, three things are too high, and as for the fourth, that passeth my knowledge, surpasseth my knowledge. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent over a stone, the way of a ship in the sea, and the way of a man with a young woman. Such is the way also of a wife that breaketh wedlock, which wipeth her mouth like as when she hath eaten, and saith, As for me, I have done no harm. Through three things the earth is disquieted, and the fourth may it not bear. Through a though oh, through three things, through a servant that beareth rule, through a fool that hath too much bread, through a wife worthy hatred. A wife worthy hatred when she is married, and through an handmaiden that is heir to her masters. This could be mistress. Through a wife worthy hatred? Is maybe esteemed with hatred. All right, what's the King James say? An odious woman. A wife worthy hatred. Oh, a wife that is worthy of hatred. Okay, wow. Because because she is odious. I don't know. That's a hard phrasing. These be four things in the earth, the which are very little, but in wisdom they exceed the wise. These following: the emmets, the ants, are but weak people, yet gather they their meat together in the harvest. The conies, or hares, are but a feeble folk, yet make they their uh, couches among the rocks. The grasshoppers have not a guide, yet go they forth together by heaps. The spider laboureth with her hands, and is in kings' places or palaces. I think place and palace are pretty much interchangeable in this book, apparently. There be three things that go stiffly. Oh, stiffly. Like proudly. Yea, four are comely in going: a lion, which is strongest among beasts, and giveth place to no man; a greyhound, strong in the hinder parts; a ram also; a king, against whom no man ariseth up. If thou hast done foolishly when thou wast in high estate, or if thou hast taken evil counsel, then lay thine hand upon thy mouth. Whoso churneth milk maketh butter, and he that rubbeth his nose maketh it bleed. Even so he that causeth wrath bringeth forth strife. Churneth. Seems to be an M. Okay, it's an M. To churn. 31. The words of this has a whole heading to it. The words of King Lemuel, and the lesson that his mother taught him. My son, why do ye so, thou son of my body? O my dear beloved son, give not over thy strength and ways unto women, which are the destruction even of kings. O Lemuel, it is not, I say, for kings to drink wine, nor princes strong drink, for there is no secret where drunkenness reigneth. Lest they, being drunken, forget the law, and pervert the judgment of all poor men's children. Uh-oh. Give strong drink unto such, and unto such are condemned to death, and wine unto those that mourn, such as are condemned to death. That they may drink it, and forget their misery and adversity. Be thou an advocate for the dumb, and stand in judgment thyself, to speak all such as be succourless, helpless in this transitory world. Open thy mouth, defend the thing that is lawful and right, and the cause of the poor and helpless. I think this is supposed to be helpless. It's missing one L. Whoso findeth an honest, faithful woman, she is much more worthy than pearls. The heart of her husband may safely trust in her, given that he shall fall in no poverty. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She occupieth wool and flax, and laboureth gladly with her hands. She is like a merchant's ship that bringeth her victuals from afar. She is up in the night season to provide meat for her household and food for her maidens. She considereth land, buyeth it, and with the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and courageth her arms. And if she perceive that her housewifery doeth good, her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her fingers to the spindle, and her hand taketh hold of the distaff. She openeth her hand to the poor, yea, she stretcheth forth her hands to such as have need. She feareth not that the cold of winter shall hurt her house, for all her household folks are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself fair ornaments, her clothing is white silk and purple. Her husband is much set by in the gates, when he sitteth among the rulers of the land. She maketh cloth of silk, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honour is her clothing, and in the latter day she shall rejoice. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of grace. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not her bread with idleness. Her children shall arise and call her blessed, and her husband shall make much of her. Many daughters there be that gather riches together, but thou goest above them all. As for favour, it is deceitful, and beauty is a vain thing, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she is worthy to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. The end of the Proverbs of Solomon. And next time we'll go ahead and continue with Ecclesiastes. So, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you, and thank you for watching the VOD if maybe you're watching on YouTube. But we'll go ahead and see you next time. So, God bless you. I love you. Good night. Take care, friends.